everybody. This is the third and final part of Trouble at Sandpoint.
And we've got 3 locations open, but we know where she's at. She's down in the catacombs. We have the village house, and we also have the Shrine of Lamatsu still open. But regardless, we do have her cornered, so it's about time we get this girl and bring her to justice. The Wrathful Sin Spawn.
See, I didn't want to fight him.
Alright, and that was the... No, we actually shuffled that already because we had to add the blessing. It's just kind of funny. He ended up being the top card. Alright, so it says, before the encounter, succeed at a Wisdom 6 check, or the difficulty of the check is increased by 1 for the rest of the turn. So, his Wisdom is a D6, so... Alright, so I am safe. Okay, so I'll use my shock bow. Shocking, I know. And that gives me a +1. I will roll my dexterity die, which is a D8. So I have a 3, 4, 5. So I just need to roll a 4 with 2 D8s. So I like the odds. And oh! And I only roll a 2. So let's go ahead and roll this, and we'll see what happens with. I rolled a 1 twice. Wow. And I rolled a 2, so we don't have to discard another one. But I do take 2 damage, so I'll recharge this card to reduce the damage dealt to you by 2. And that's a little embarrassing. A little overconfident there, wasn't I?
That's why Lenny didn't want to go over there.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. Well, but thing is, I can't succeed at this Divine 6 check to finish this scenario, which that's why she should have went there. You didn't have to encounter. I don't know why you just didn't stay here.
I'll go back over there.
Yeah, but you wasted a whole round by goofing around.
No, I didn't. You just lost to the sin spot.
Well, why don't you just keep rubbing it in? Let me flip your... Alright, so you got a burglar, and it says he has a dexterity stealth 7, charisma diplomacy 6. Recharge this card to... okay, wait a minute. It says here that if you do not acquire this card, discard 1 weapon or item. So, what is your dexterity stealth? That's pretty good.
D12 plus 4.
So you just need to roll a 3 with a D12. Now, you could just discard a card to... or recharge a card to just automatically acquire him if you want. So, that's up to you.
Okay.
And you're going to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So, you have acquired the burglar, the hamburglar, and he does not let you explore, unfortunately.
No, he doesn't. She's a blessing to explore again.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Sure.
Okay. A sneaky snake. So another ally. He is a Wisdom Survival 6. So there you go. And you have now acquired the sneaky snake. And does he doesn't allow you to explore either.
These are stupid allies.
Stupid allies.
Alright, I'm done.
Okay. Now we will go back to Valaros. Which now, unfortunately, he's got everything he needs to defeat this stupid villain, but I will not be able to temporarily close the Shrine of Lamatsu.
Because Lenny's not up there.
Because Lenny's not up there. That is so correct, but we're still going to try it anyways, aren't we? Oh, wait a minute. Or it says, or banish a blessing. Oh, I would have to get rid of my blessing of Shaylin. I don't want to do that. I'm still going to fight him.
Why?
Because as long as you just banish a card from your hand,
and then I have to banish a card from my hand again.
Well, you can just get rid of the Thieves' Tools. They're a basic item. You can just acquire them right back if you don't have enough items at the end of the game. So, first thing first, are you going to temporarily close down the village house?
Okay. I'll banish my potion of goodness.
Okay. Alright, so the village house has been temporarily closed. Now let's read what Illyrium does. It says, before the encounter, choose a character at your location to summon and encounter a Wrathful Sin-Spawn henchman. Okay, so let's get a Wrathful Sin-Spawn henchman, and I will have to be the one to encounter it. It says here that before the encounter, succeeded a Wisdom 6 check, or the difficulty of your check is increased by 1. I do not have any wisdom, so unfortunately I will not be able to do much with that. My wisdom is only a D4, so he will be a combat 10 for me to defeat. I will use a icy long spear, which has a magic trait of +1. So my strength melee is already a +5, so this will be a +6. So I just need to roll a 4 with a D8 and a D10. Now it also says there, if you fail a combat check with this weapon, you may discard this card to ignore the result and re-roll the dice. You must take the second result. I'm not too worried about it, but I do have 2 blessings that if I was worried, I could add one of these blessings to this to roll an additional D10. And seems how I do have 2 blessings, I really don't understand why not do that. So I will now roll 2 D10s and the D8 just to make sure that I do defeat him, which I did. Now let's roll our D6 because we need to do that because of the location. We are safe. We do not have to discard an additional blessing off of the pile. Now, we must encounter GreyElephant, which means that she is a combat 14. So I will use my icy long spear again, which will give me my D8 and my D10. And then I will use my Blessing of Callistra, which will also add an additional D10. I must roll a, let me see here, that is 5, 6, so I must roll an 8 with all of this. There is 4, there is 5, 6, 7. I have failed to defeat GreyElephant. Now that really stinks. Now it says here that if undefeated, succeed at a Wisdom or Divine 8 check, or move to a random other location. So unfortunately I cannot succeed at that, but first off I must take my damage. I can use my wooden shield and I can recharge that to take that damage with that.
Okay.
And oh wait, before we do that, we almost forgot, didn't we? If you fail a combat check with this weapon, you may discard this card to ignore the result and re-roll the dice. You must take the second result. Now, a couple of things with this is that I should have been smart and discarded this anyways to, well, actually I can't do that. So what am I thinking? All right. So that'll be 1d8 and 2d. Do I get to roll the 2d10s again? If you fail a check with this weapon, you may discard this card to ignore the re-roll the dice. Yeah. The dice. So, all right, let's try that again. There we go. Got her that time.
Got her that time.
Okay, so this will still just be recharged because Valeris does not discard weapons. Hindsight being 20/20, and looking back on this again, I should have had Harsk banish that blessing, I think. This location is closed, and it says here that on closing you may shuffle an item from your discard pile into your deck. So I'll see if I have any items in my discard pile, but I don't think that I do. So now GreyElephant is at the Shrine of Lamatsu, which means closing down the village house. Concentrate and focus all our ability. Now see, if you would have closed down the Shrine of Lamatsu, this would have been the game, but no. Lenny had to go to Junk Beach and get an item, didn't she?
She got caltrips.
She got caltrips. Yes, she got caltrips. Okay. So let's see if I had an item. I did not, so I will not be recharging those. So now let's draw 2 cards back up. And that will end my turn. And now it is Lenny's turn. Lenny the traitor. Oh, what? Now you're going to go up there? Why? Well, I mean, we need to attempt to close the village house before we try to goof around too much there.
Okay.
We've got her cornered.
I'm kind of scared of that.
Oh, I wouldn't be worried about that.
Boots of elven kind. Dexterity, acrobats.
Some
5.
fancy boots. Okay, so what's your dexterity?
D6.
So if you roll a 5 with a D6 and with the D4 as well, you will obtain those awesome boots.
I can recharge the card to add a D6 to my check. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Crow. You're awesome.
Oh, rock on, Crow.
Awesome Crow ever.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You have boots of elven kind.
Yay!
You are so fancy in your boots.
Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you all done?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh! Takes in an intelligence, arcane divine 5. Of course, I've got my wisdom one now. Okay. That's a really cool card, and unfortunately, well, I mean, I could still. Okay, first off, my intelligence, arcane divine. My intelligence is a D6. So I would roll a D6. I'd have to get a 5. I can use my blessing of Shaylin to add an additional D6.
There you go.
Do you want to use your blessing of Aristal to add an additional D6 so we can try to obtain it?
I don't know if I want to use it for that. I think you can get it anyways.
I did.
Ha ha!
Okay. So I have now obtained the blessing of Lamatsu. I believe that you are next, right? Now, one thing about Harsk that I have not done this entire game that I want to make sure we draw to his attention. It says that at the end of your turn, you may examine the top card of your location deck. I can tell you whether or not if that is a barrier. So, and it is, okay? Now, they take a Dexterity Acrobats 10.
Okay.
What's your Dexterity Acrobats?
D12 plus 4.
So you'd have to roll a 6 with the D12. And plus you have that, but is that to combat or?
It's 2 dice to a dexterity based combat.
Okay. Now, ready? You're up.
Okay, well, Maricel's in the best position to beat those explosive rings.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Why don't she just roll 2 d12s? You want to do that way?
I can add an additional one if we wanted to with my blessing of Lamatsu, just to make sure that you don't fail. You need to get a 6, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really good odds with just 2 of them. But oh, what are your thieves' tools? Thieves' tools.
Discard this card to defeat a barrier whose highest difficulty to defeat is 11 or lower.
There
you go.
We're done.
Aha!
Okay.
Succeeded to disable 8 to recharge.
Yeah, because this would have actually been on 11. Because we are on adventure deck once. 2.
I never succeeded those.
Okay, so now it is Valero's turn. And he will now come up there to finish this off. And it is the Wrathful Sin Spawn. Gotta admit, that's kind of funny. Alright, so before the encounter succeeded a Wisdom 6 check. It ain't going to happen, so we're not even going to worry about that. Alright, let's do this. I will use my longsword plus my strength. So my strength is a D10 plus 5. The longsword will give me a bonus 1, so that'll give me a plus 6. Plus it gives me a D8. And I am going to recharge it as well to give myself an additional D6. Let's make sure we do this right. So, here we go. And he is defeated. So, goodbye, Wrathful Sin Spawn. Now, let's roll our D6 to see if... Yes, we do lose another card off of there. And it says here, banish a card from your hand. To be able to close this, I will banish this wooden shield.
Yeah, I was about to say. Okay.
So, this location is now closed, which means... Just get over there. We need to find her. We need to beat her. And we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attempts to do this. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
And she could be very well the 12th card.
Alright, Lenny is going to go over there.
So, ready? There we go. I'll draw back up now.
Hellhound.
Alright, so it says here he is a combat 10 to defeat, and it says add 1 to the checks to defeat the Hellhound with the cold trait. Oh, that would have been nice. I don't think you have anything with the cold trait, though. After the encounter, the Hellhound deals 1 fire damage to each character at this location. Hey, good thing we're not all there. Alright, so Harsk is going to recharge.
Honey, wait.
Okay, what? I believe that is just...
It's just evades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so Harsk is going to recharge his Wand of Force Missile to give you a D4.
Wow, she's got a terrible hand.
No, you're actually in good shape.
Okay, so she gets 2 D4s.
Mm-hmm.
3 D4s.
Plus a 1. So you need to roll a 9 with 3 D4s. Now you could decide
discard
to
a card.
discard a card. That's right. Okay. And then that'll allow you to roll a D10.
Do I have an ally in my discard pile? I'm not sure. Okay. So a D10 and 2 D4s.
Okay. So a D10 and 2 D4s, and you need to get a 9. That is right at a 50% chance. I could use my Blessing of Lamatsu, which says bury this card to add 2 dice to a check to defeat a monster. So that would give you 2 more additional D10s. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Or I could use this, just add 1.
Well,
D10.
he seems to be doing okay. Why don't you go ahead and use this and just get 2 more D10s. I'm okay with that.
Okay. I'm going to roll my D4 separate. It always does better.
2. You get 7 more. Whew.
Barely.
Had me a little nervous there for a second.
Right. After the encounter, Hellhound deals 1 fire damage to each character at this location. Okay.
Alright, so he is defeated. Goodbye. Now I believe it's Harsk's turn, correct?
She can explore again.
With what? The
The
dog?
He recharges instead of discarding.
I know that, but that would leave you with no animals. And,
Okay, we can wait till next turn. We're going to do
yeah, okay. So, okay.
now.
Scorching Ray. It's in an Intelligence Arcane 6. And my intelligence is a D6.
Should have explored again.
Okay. And I rolled a 6. So, awesome. Yeah.
Yay!
I guess it's that little symbol. It has to be a 6 because a 4, a 2, a 3, yeah, there's a 6. It's the Gameling Games dice they sent us.
Okay.
So, yeah, awesome. That's kind of cool. Now, what I can do is it says here with my Grizzled Mercenary, it says bury this card to add 1d8 to a combat check at your location. But it also says discard this card to explore your location. If you encounter a boon, banish it. So, in a sense, maybe this wouldn't be a bad idea just to go ahead and just try to explore, just to get a card flipped.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think you should get a card flipped.
The only problem is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh. And I don't have a cure right now.
I think he's okay. Okay. But if it's a blessing, I take 2 damage.
Ugh.
I still think I could be okay. As long as we don't... Okay. Alright. So it's the Wrathful Sinspawn. So, before the encounter, succeed at a Wisdom 6 check, or the difficulty of your check is increased by 1. Alright, so my Wisdom is a D6. My Wisdom Perception is a +3, so I need to roll a 4 with this. Is that right? Or no. I'm sorry. It's just a Wisdom 6.
Yeah.
So I need to roll a 5 with this. So, and I failed, so he will be a 10 to a 10 check. Okay. I will use my Shock Longbow, which will allow me to roll 2 D8s, because I'll roll for my dexterity. So that would be 3, 4, 5. So I would have to roll a 5 with 2 D8s.
Oh no, you're not going to be able to close the location.
No. Well, no.
Do you want to evade it?
Can I evade it with that?
Discard this card to choose character at your location to evade a monster. Put that monster on top of the location deck.
Okay, the only problem with that is I've already kind of proceeded with stuff. I almost feel like that's backtracking. But, yeah. That would be awfully cool. So, it would stay on top?
Yeah. It would stay on top. And I can do a Divine 6 check, no problem, with Lenny.
Yeah, but she's not going next. Marisol's next, then Valeros, then Lenny.
Marisol has a blessing. Right?
Look, I think let's just be done with it. Wait a minute. Do I have to be the one that discards the... Yeah, 'cause you don't even have a blessing with her anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. A question. Let me ask you this. Am I the one who has to roll the Divine 6 check? Can you attempt it?
I don't know.
I don't either. Alright, I don't think so, because it does say at the bottom of the card, if defeated, you may immediately attempt to close this location. So, you know, technically that's me. So, okay. So let's go back to what I was saying. I am currently rolling 2 d8s. I will have to get a 5 with 2 d8s. I will use Valeros' Blessing of Gorm to add an additional d8, so that'll be 3 d8s to get a 5. So, and there we go. So he is defeated. So let's roll the d6 to see if... Nope, we do not lose any more blessings. Thank goodness. But I cannot explore anymore, unfortunately. So I will just draw back up.
Are you going to try to close the location?
I don't even have a Divine, hun. I mean, I'd roll a d4 for Divine. Do you have anything to add? I mean, you've got the Blessing of Aristal. I mean, I'd roll a d4 twice then. That's all I'd be doing.
It's unlikely you'd roll a 6 with 2 d4s.
But we could try.
Let's try.
Okay. 2. 3.
That
great. Is not 6. Okay. So, we'll go back to what I was saying. Now, it's the end of my turn, so that means I get to look at the top. So it will be a Blessing of the Gods. The good thing about this is that we'll automatically acquire it. The bad thing is that you are going to take 2 damage because of it. So, the location.
So I get to automatically acquire it and take damage. That's
so,
great.
Here
okay.
we go with you.
Actually, that's a good idea for Marisol. Okay, so.
Okay, so now you take 2 damage.
Discard this card to reduce damage dealt to you by 3.
Unfortunately, it is mental damage. You may not reduce that damage.
Oh.
So, you'll have to discard 2 cards. So, I guess now the question is, do you use the Blessing of the Gods to go ahead and explore again? There she is. Okay. So, it says here, before the encounter, choose a character at your location to summon and encounter a Wrathful Sin Spawn at this location. Now, that could be any of us. So, if you wanted to, I could do it. But if you feel confident you can do this, by all means, knock yourself out.
Yeah, why don't you do the Sin Spawn?
Okay. It says that before the encounter, succeed at a Wisdom 6 check, or the difficulty is blah, 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 blah. We failed, so he is a 10 for me to be able to defeat. Alright, so I will use my Shock Longbow, which will give me a d8. And then I roll an additional d8. And I will need to get a 5 with 2 d8s. And I do not have anything to add. I mean, I could use a Scorching Ray spell, but I was going to save that for you. It's a basic spell.
Yeah, don't save it for me then.
I don't know. It says for your combat check, discard this card to roll your arcane die plus 2d6 with the fire trait. If you do not have the arcane skill, banish this card. It's just a one shot for her anyways. You don't have the arcane skill.
No, I don't.
So does that mean I get to still roll? I just get to add this to this? Yeah. So roll your arcane die, which is a d4, because I don't have arcane, and then plus 2d6s. So I roll 2 d8s, 2 d6s, and then that's banished.
Okay.
All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's dead. Okay. So now, okay.
That was close.
All right. Defeat her. Game over. We win.
Okay, so I roll my dexterity die, which really stinks because I could have used my blessing of Aristil for that.
Yeah, I know, and I have no blessings to add. He's not even over there. Harsk is over there. We're totally disorganized on this last battle. Which we weren't if Lenny would have been up here and closed that, you know, like 6 turns ago. Just saying. You know, when we could have ended it. So, does he add anything?
No.
Okay. So, you are rolling a d12 and a d10, and you need to get a 14, correct?
Well, actually, I need to get a 12. Oh, yeah. I will go ahead and discard him to add 2 d6s. There we go. Wait, I can't do that. I'm not alone. Crud.
No. Yeah, Harsk, everything for Harsk, unfortunately, is something to help somebody at another location. And Valeros helps at his location.
Let's see.
And I don't think that you can do anything with anybody else. This may just be one of those deals
Alright, let's just try.
12. Or are you getting the d6? Oh.
Oh, I don't get the d6s, but I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the +2.
Yes.
Woo! Oh, I thought you failed because I was like, no, 12. But you got the +2 in your dexterity.
+2.
Oh, good gravy. That was way harder than it needed to be there at the end. That was a pretty exciting ending. I didn't even realize it when you rolled the 2 6s that we succeeded in defeating her because you had the bonus +2, so that really caught me by surprise. I feel like we got awfully lucky in this one. Made a lot of mistakes, little things that could have helped us. I think there at the end, having Harsk at that location, Valeros was not at the location, so their bonuses or their abilities couldn't even help out with the combat.
Yeah.
Our
the opposite.
Yeah, the opposite of what we needed. But this was the first time we've played with 4 characters, so it's expected that we're going to make mistakes like that.
Yeah, we just went right into it with the 4 characters on camera, so we didn't have any prior experience with that. So
0 to 60 in 0.0 seconds.
That's usually how we do it. You know, we want you to experience the game with us, so you know.
So we actually get to gain a power feat because that is the prize at the end of this scenario. So we were talking about that, what would be beneficial for each one of our characters, and we thought maybe if you guys wanted to chime in and give your input as well, that would be great. So you have Marisol and Lenny. What was you thinking for Marisol?
I feel like neither one of them really gives me much choice. Marisol has a throwing axe that she's not able to use efficiently right now because she needs to get proficient with weapons. So I really feel like I need to choose the proficient with weapons.
I think being proficient with weapons is great too, but of course you guys chime in. What about Lenny?
Well, Lenny doesn't really have a lot to choose from. She could get proficient with light armors or...
But she can't carry weapons or armors.
But she can't carry them over to the next scenario, so I don't see the point, you know?
Yeah.
So what she can do then is just add an additional +1 when she gets the D4 for having an animal ally.
I do believe that Lenny, though, when we do go to the card feats and we're able to check off one of them boxes, will have the opportunity then to check mark off either armors or to where she can carry one weapon or one armor.
She will.
So is that something to consider, though, looking ahead?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of that? With Valeros, I think that his hand size is really his weakness. He's not drawing enough cards. I think Valeros needs to increase his hand size to 5. He's only drawn 4 cards now. Increase it to 5. The other thing he could do is add a bonus +1 to the combat if people are at their same location. They would roll a D4 +1, which that is pretty tempting to do.
I don't feel like we really use that enough, but But that's true. We are starting to use it more.
I
agree.
agree
Have more
with,
characters.
I agree with you. I don't think we used it enough. In fact, I think we missed using it during this gameplay too. Now that I think about it, with Harsk. Yeah. But yeah, it is something that we need to keep mindful of. And then with Harsk himself, you know, he's. I like that ability where he can look at the top card or bottom card and all that. And that's cool. I don't know. I'm thinking with him that we add the +1 for the combat from a distance. I don't know. What do you guys think? But there, you know, we showed you all the cards. Take a look at it. Give us your input and give us an idea what you think. Now, we do have all our cards. We're done with this scenario, obviously. We're going to go over to the next scenario. We are going to go through all our cards and separate them. And this is going to take like 15 minutes because there are a lot of cards to go through. So if you want to watch that, stay tuned after the credits and you can see which cards we decide to carry over. And until then, we'll see you guys on the next scenario. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Actually, let's start in spells, because you've got a couple of spells there that I think you need to figure out. Now, Lenny's the only magic spell user in the group, and how many can she hold?
She can keep 6 spells.
6 total? And you might as well just throw Mercil's Holy Light card in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wanted that pretty bad.
Yeah, so that's 1. And you can pick 4 or 5 others.
That one was nice.
Augury. Cure. Cures are always good to have.
Yeah, Fire Sneeze is nice.
Oh yeah, don't get rid of Fire Sneeze. Fire Sneeze and Holy Light to me are
I like Strength because I can give Strength to any character, not just myself.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if I want to keep it or not. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can keep 2 more. What else you got in there? Does Lightning Touch require Arcane?
Yep, so that one's gone.
Okay, so
don't have Arcane.
That's right.
Alright, so I could
you can keep one of those 2.
Sanctuary lets me evade a monster, but I never end up using it.
What's the other one? Another cure?
Another cure, yeah.
It's
I'll keep the Sanctuary.
I would probably keep the I was going to say that because you do have your healing rod to possibly keep as well. So, all right, so Lenny's all finished up with all her spells. Now, why don't we move to weapons here? Obviously, I think her dagger is... Let's just toss that out. Nobody's going to want the dagger.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of weapons here. Valeros will be keeping his longsword. He can keep a total of 5 weapons. He will be keeping his icy long spear. He will be keeping his great axe. Let's keep the warhammer. Now we've got 2 other weapons here, a longsword and a mace. Not too sure about. How many weapons can Marissa keep?
Got my card. She can keep only 2.
Okay, so she can keep 2. Well, Harsk is going to keep his shock longbow. He is going to keep his light crossbow. And, you know, he can give one of these up to Valeros. And then he could possibly take whichever one you...
I don't want the light crossbow.
Which, that's what I was going to say. He can take the light crossbow because you're going to probably be able to become proficient with weapons now, which is going to make the returning throwing axe at least beneficial. Right. He can keep the bastard sword, and yeah, I almost would like to give the bastard sword to him instead. And trying to decide here. I'll just do this for now. And let's just do that. And then the mace goes away.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you liked the mace.
Not anymore. Alright, so let's go to armors. He can keep 1. Valeros can keep 3. He's only got 2 at the moment because I lost my shield. So I'll pull that shield back out because he could acquire that back if he wanted to.
Let's see. Okay. Marisol will keep her magic leather armor.
Alright. Now let's go to allies. Harsk can only keep one, and he will keep the grizzled mercenary. I like him. Valeros, he has a dog and a guide. Marisol has a burglar, a poog of Zarngul, Father Xantus, who I think these two are keeps. No way around it.
Okay, well, Father Xantus adds a D4 to your divine check.
Ooh.
So I was thinking of giving him to Lenny.
Right.
So
okay.
Marisol will keep Poog. And maybe the snake. Let's see.
It adds to your stealth check, which you're already pretty good. I think the burglar's an out. I don't think any of us want a burglar. So I would probably get rid of the burglar. Let's just get him out of the picture.
Okay.
Then that helps us make a decision.
This guy,
You can have some if you want.
Is that what you're asking? I will give Marisol.
You can't open it?
I found this in the refrigerator inside the freezer and it says keep frozen on the thing.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think I'll give Marisol this guy because he, you can banish the card to return an ally from your discard pile, and Poog is so good, I would like to return it.
Oh, grand idea. Okay. So now
there's
that's
her two allies.
Okay, so.
Alright.
Now she needs to choose 3, I believe she can hold?
Yes.
Okay.
And she wants him.
Father Xantus. So that's 2 more now for you to decide upon.
Saber-toothed tiger adds a d6 to your combat check.
Okay.
I want him.
1 more.
I think I'll take the crow.
Okay.
Because he adds a d6 to your check to acquire weapon, armor, or an item. That's kind of cool.
Okay, so the snake says recharge this card to add 1d10 to your stealth check. It always just... I never feel like that I can have the correct cards in my hand when I need them. Obviously, we don't want 2 dogs. And it's between these 3, and it's like, okay, do I take it to where I can add to the stealth? But he doesn't let me explore. That's why I don't like him. Whereas the dog lets me explore, she lets me explore. That's the main reason.
Does Harsk not have any allies?
Yeah, he does. He's got the grizzled mercenary.
Oh, you're going to keep the grizzled mercenary. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go to items. Harsk can hold 1. He'll keep his... Oh, I'm sorry. Harsk can hold 3. So I've got 1 too many, which one of them is the Wand of Force Missile.
That is awesome.
I thought Lenny might enjoy the Wand of Force Missile.
Yes, she would.
That means... Let's see what else we got here.
Okay.
Wow. Well, we know that the Holy Candle is a must, and Marisol needs to keep the Holy Candle. No way around that.
Okay.
Well, and then you can hold 6 items.
6 items.
5 other items she can hold. Okay. I like your Potion of Energy Resistance as your second item. I think the Amulet of Life is almost becoming silly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I love my thieves' tools. They're awesome.
Those have become so...
They come in handy so much.
Yeah, they do. I'm almost thinking that I've got these already with the Masterwork tools, which are great. So I know he's going to keep those, which means he can hold 1 more item. So we'll have to figure out what all is going to be left here. So how many now have you kept
3.
for her? 3?
She needs 3 more.
So she needs 3 more.
And then Lenny needs 2 items.
The Sage's Journal is actually kind of cool, you gotta admit.
Reveal to add a d4 to your check to defeat a henchman or villain.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's not as cool as I thought.
It adds a d4, so you're basically... You're
stuck
guaranteed that you're adding 1.
Yeah, but it's still kind of lame just to hold that just for that, in hopes of coming across a villain or henchman, which there's only 1 of them in. I don't know. Just seems kind of silly.
I'm wondering if Lenny might like the Amulet of Life. She tends to get hurt a lot.
I'm wondering if Lenny would prefer to keep the Sage's Journal versus Marisol, whereas Marisol doesn't seem like she really needs something like that.
Yeah.
But Lenny can only hold 2 items, right?
Right, and she's keeping the wand of force missile.
So she's only got one more item that she can hang on to. Just like Valeros can only hold on to one more.
Gotta say, I really like the Thieves' Tools. I'm thinking about having her keep the Thieves' Tools.
Who, Lenny?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So Maricel gets 3 more items.
Maybe give her the Staff of Healing.
So Maricel gets 2 more items.
Okay.
Well, I don't like the caltrops because they get banished. I don't know. There's.
Okay. So Lenny can only hold one more item, correct?
No, she's done.
Oh, she's finished.
Yeah.
She can hold no more items. So Lenny is done. So this is everything that you got left. This is everything I've got. He can hold 1, and he can still hold 3. Harsk can hold 3, Valeros 1.
Kind of like those potions.
Yeah, they're not too shabby.
Would you like any of these?
I don't like them boots. I think they're stupid.
They only add 1.
Only thing that you got...
Well, they do add a die.
The only thing you have that I think I would be interested in is the Thieves' Tools.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what to trade you for that other than maybe a luck stone or the potion of ruggedness or this. But I don't want to get rid... He's going to definitely take the Staff of Minor Healing. Harsk is.
Okay. Her... So she doesn't really... I think she would like the potion of ruggedness. I think Maricel would like that.
Okay. Maricel, she likes that. She agrees with this.
She wants to be rugged.
Okay. So how many more items can she hold?
1 more.
Okay. I'm not worried about that with either one of my characters.
Okay.
If you're okay, I would like the Thieves' Tools for Harsk.
Okay.
Okay, that would give all of us 1 set of Thieves' Tools, which I thought was a good idea. Okay. Now he can hold 1 more, and so can Valeros.
So you're choosing
and I'm not
2
interested
more.
in any of those.
Okay.
I will just keep him with the Luckstone and him with the Potion of Fortitude. Okay? So these just go away. Alright, so let's go to our...
she can hold 1 more.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and I just noticed this Amulet of Life. It reduces damage by 3, and you succeed at a Divine 7 check to recharge it. So I'm thinking maybe Lenny should take it.
Yeah, but then she wouldn't be able to keep her Wand of Force Missile or her Thieves' Tools, though. She can't keep all 3.
Right.
Can't. Well, how many can she hold items? Just 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, hun. I love the idea with all of us having a set of Thieves' Tools, but if you think it's a good idea for her to have the Amulet of Life, then sure. That's up to you.
I just like to be able to recharge cards instead of discarding them.
Well, and I can agree with that. Of course, you can still try to do that, but it's not going to happen. Yep, make up your mind what you're going to go with.
I'll keep the Thieves' Tools.
I think it's a good idea. We run into a lot of barriers.
You just took Maricel's cards and put them over there.
Did I really? Oh, all of her cards.
That's why I was sitting there, like, shaking my head when you were saying, make up your mind.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 1. Okay. So, you didn't have caltrops for her. Okay. So, go through them real quick with Maricel, just to make sure. I'm sorry about that. Because she can hold 6 items anyways, which means she's 1 short.
She's 1 short still. I know. But the items are just kind of goofy. I think I'll keep the boots just because they're neat and we haven't had an opportunity to use them yet. Maybe they'll come up. We'll see.
I don't know. I'd keep that if he's going to keep one of them. Then maybe Lenny would be able to take it from you once we are able to check off our card feat. The boots are...
It's basic.
I've never used the boots. Okay. Alright, so let's go to our blessings. Alright, so we got a lot of neat, cool blessings to decide between all of us.
Okay.
Alright, so first off, Harsk can keep 5. and Valeros can keep 3. How many can Lenny keep? 4?
Yep.
And Marisol...
4.
4. Okay. So if Marisol can keep 4, we know that these 2 are just silly ones. These 3 are silly ones. There we go. This helps us. We know that these are all silly ones. Now, who needs what most when we are going to divide these up? My Blessing of Lamatsu with Harsk lets you bury this card to add 2 dice to a check to defeat a monster. It's kind of cool. Maybe Lenny would require that one more so than him.
Maybe, yeah.
I like the fact that he does have the Blessing of Shaylin and the Blessing of Iori, which help with intelligence and wisdom. Because he's not high in that, but neither is Valeros. So I wonder if maybe if I should think about giving him something like that. The thing about it is that Valeros has this one with like the Blessing of Torok. He's already so strong anyways. Does he really need that? Plus like the Blessing of Gorham, where it's adding 2 dice to a strength-based combat check. I don't know.
Would you like to add to a non-combat dexterity for somebody?
I tell you, I wouldn't mind maybe trading that then, like that.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that would make me happy. The thing is, I think he does need to keep the Blessing of Gorham. The only person he could probably give this to is her, because she does fight with her strength whenever she does the D10 thing, where she discards the card to get the D10.
Yeah.
Because he's always fighting with strength, whereas Harsk and Marisol are typically always fighting with dexterity.
Right.
So he will give that to her to help her get a little stronger.
Okay. 2 dice to a dexterity-based combat check. Harsk?
I've got one, and she fights so well with... oh, wait. I see what you're saying. Okay. What's your intelligence and what's your wisdom for Marisol?
Intelligence is a D4.
Okay. And your wisdom?
D6.
Okay. His intelligence is a D6 and his wisdom is a D6. I will give you the wisdom one, and you give me the Blessing of Aristal. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm pretty content with this.
All right.
All right.
So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And then how many can she keep?
4.
Oh, you got everything?
Yep.
So he's 3, and he's 5.